My child isn't cute, so I'm giving her away.
My sister left her 4-month-old baby in our doghouse and disappeared. My husband and I desperately tried to contact her, but eventually, she became unresponsive. Despite our despair, we took care of the little girl. Strangely, since then, good fortune has followed us. We affectionately called the baby our bringer of happiness. Meanwhile, it seems my sister's life took a tragic turn. 2 completely different paths unfolded for my sister and me. Please see the outcome.
Since you don't have a child and it's pitiful, I'll let you take care of my daughter.
My sister, Sophia, handed over her 4-month-old baby to me as if tossing her. I hurriedly caught the child. My niece, Mia, started crying, perhaps startled.
Oh, what a noisy child, crying and screaming every day. It's really getting on my nerves.
My sister complained. Maybe it's because you handle Mia roughly, I retorted. At that moment, my sister's previously sour expression turned into a sly smile.
What? Are you jealous of me? You're in your 40s and still childless, while I had Mia at 33. Does that bother you?
In reality, my husband and I faced financial and age-related challenges, and by the time I turned 40, we had given up on fertility treatments. As I stood there, lips pressed together, my sister added insult to injury.
By the way, Olivia, you claim to be a novelist, but isn't that just self-proclaimed? Essentially, you're just a stay-at-home wife.
But I've won awards.
Yet you couldn't publish any books, right? Truly pathetic. Well then, good luck as a babysitter.
With those words, my sister walked back to her house, about a 10-minute walk away. She was a successful illustrator and often left her daughter with us because the baby's crying bothered her. Even though the personality of the artist and the work are unrelated, she often receives requests. I mused, holding Mia close. My heart was heavy with conflicting emotions. One day, my husband Michael, who works as an office employee, was able to take a vacation, so we decided to go out together.
Where would you like to go? Whether it's an art museum or a regular museum, I'll take you wherever you want.
It's your day off, so let's go to a place you like, Michael.
Really? I thought a place that could inspire your work would be good, but I personally love your novels.
My heart warmed at my husband's considerate words. As we enjoyed our long-awaited museum date, my phone suddenly rang. Seeing the caller's name on the screen, I involuntarily grimaced. It's from my sister. I didn't really want to talk to her, but I couldn't ignore the call. Sophia? What's going on?
Oh, hello? So, the door at your place was locked, you know. I left her in the doghouse.
What are you talking about? I had an unpleasant premonition from my sister's words, and my chest felt restless.
That's why it's Mia, my daughter. I mean, she's not cute, so I'm giving her away. Take care of her for a while.
What? Startled, I unintentionally raised my voice, earning disapproving glances from other museum visitors. I quickly lowered my voice and decided to listen to my sister's explanation. Why would you suddenly do something like this?
Well, I'm going on an overseas cruise. Having a child would be inconvenient, you know.
Her selfish reasoning left me speechless. Sophia continued, piling on more.
Besides, that kid is always crying and noisy. She has this weird monkey-like face. I can't believe she's my child.
That's no way to talk about her. My sister seemed uninterested in my words, and sensing that she might hang up, I desperately tried to keep her on the line. Wait a moment! We're out right now. We need to rescue Mia urgently. It's a serious situation. The weather forecast had predicted the hottest day of the season, with scorching temperatures. But my sister dismissed it with an indifferent tone.
The ship is about to depart, and I'm heading to the port. You can't afford an overseas cruise like me, right?
Sophia, come back immediately. Don't anger me.
I'm not scared of you being mad. Well then, good luck.
And just like that, the call abruptly ended. After discussing it with my sister, I told the content of the call to my husband. We decided to contact the police as a first step. We explained the situation and requested that they take custody of the baby. Then, the two of us hurried back home. As a precaution, we took our niece to the hospital. Although she was slightly dehydrated due to the heat, there were no serious health issues. We breathed a sigh of relief.
It's a good thing we left the doghouse as it was.
I agreed. The small building with a red roof in our yard had been handmade by Michael for our previous dog. Now, it stood empty, a relic of memories we couldn't bear to remove. Fortunately, this unintentional shelter spared the baby from direct sunlight. And if we still had a dog, Sophia might not have put Mia in the doghouse. I mused. Our niece's survival seemed like a fortunate convergence of events. We attempted to contact my sister several times, but she remained unyielding. Her response was dismissive.
I'm already on the ship. Do you expect me to turn it around just for myself?
Curious, I asked. How long will this overseas cruise last?
3 months, but if I find a country I like along the way, I might just settle there.
My shock grew as I considered her nonchalant attitude. While it was true that as a freelance illustrator, she could sustain herself abroad, her lack of responsibility astounded me. What are your plans for Mia? I inquired. Her reply was curt.
I'm giving her to you. Goodbye.
Eventually, communication ceased altogether, and my husband and I found ourselves caring for Sophia's daughter, feeling utterly lost. However, since we welcomed my niece Mia into our home, something strange happened. A string of lucky events unfolded. For instance, even minor occurrences, like taking her for a stroll in the baby carriage, resulted in all the traffic lights turning green. Initially, I dismissed it as mere coincidence. But soon, my novels started winning awards and contests, my husband got promoted, and the lottery tickets he purchased began hitting the jackpot. Our fortunes were turning around. Then, incredibly, an online serial novel I had been writing as a personal hobby caught the attention of a publishing house. I received an email inviting me to turn it into a book. We owe Mia for bringing us luck. My husband and I embraced our niece with affection. Despite the challenges of caring for an infant, everything felt fresh and enjoyable for us, as we had no children of our own. Furthermore, the bedtime stories I concocted for Mia caught the interest of a publisher.
Why not turn them into children's books?
The publisher suggested. They even launched a project for it. However, during discussions with the publisher about turning my novels into books, I stumbled upon something peculiar. Sophia, you couldn't possibly. The shocking truth left me breathless, yet I still couldn't reach her. In the end, all we could do was wait for my sister to return. After completing her 3-month overseas journey, Sophia returned to my house. She greeted me with a smile that was quite different from her previous demeanor.
Congratulations on finally publishing your book. You're a distinguished author now.
She exclaimed, ingratiating herself as she leaned toward me. No need for flattery. Did you come to take Mia back? Sophia smirked.
You've been looking after my daughter all this time. You're no longer necessary.
It's absurd. You handed her over, claiming she wasn't cute enough. Now you want her back?
Perhaps you misremembered?
Sophia shrugged.
Anyway, return Mia to me.
And so, unable to reach any resolution, we awaited my sister's return. According to her account, ever since the day she relinquished her daughter and boarded the cruise ship, Sophia experienced a series of unfortunate events and found herself in dire circumstances.
After cutting off communication with you on the cruise ship, we immediately encountered a severe storm, and the ship rocked violently. I suffered terrible seasickness.
Is that why we lost contact?
No, it's not just that. As a distraction, I left my room and was robbed by a thief. They stole my wallet and smartphone.
Losing all means of communication, my sister couldn't reach me in the US. Furthermore, her laptop, which she had brought on the ship, suddenly malfunctioned without any apparent reason. Consequently, she couldn't continue her illustration work for the assignments she had taken in the US. Clearly, enjoying the overseas cruise was out of the question.
All the data I had been working on vanished, and I missed deadlines without being able to communicate. I even lost some job opportunities. It's been the worst.
For any professional, failing to meet deadlines can severely damage their reputation and future work prospects. It's easy to imagine how my sister lost numerous commissions during that overseas cruise. Couldn't you borrow a phone from your husband?
That guy? He cheated on me with another woman on the same ship and fled overseas. Unbelievable.
Sophia clenched her teeth, frustration etched on her face as she stomped her foot. She continued, her voice rising.
All of this happened because I gave up Mia. If I reclaim her, I will be as lucky as you.
And that's why she stormed in, demanding,
Give me back my daughter.
However, I quietly shook my head. I'm sorry, but I can't give Mia back to you.
Huh? She's my child. What right do you have to say that? Just because you took care of her for 3 months doesn't make you her mom.
Sophia, you're aware that I've published a book, right? My sister looked bewildered.
Well.
But this wasn't an unrelated topic. The cover of my published book. Originally, you were a candidate as an illustrator.
Really? I missed the chance because I couldn't use my phone or computer.
She replied, shoulders slumping in disappointment. However, my point wasn't finished. The publishing house investigated the illustrations you've been working on. Sophia's expression darkened, sensing that there was more to the story. Yes, while discussing potential illustrators for the book cover, I stumbled upon my sister's unbelievable truth. You, copying other illustrators' art and presenting it as your own work, what they call plagiarism, right? On the internet, there were posts comparing my sister's art to suspiciously similar pieces from other illustrators, and the evidence was compelling to anyone who saw it. As a result, negative rumors about Sophia began spreading online, tarnishing her reputation without her knowledge. Originally, she had a habit of bad-mouthing other illustrators and clients on social media, which made her unpopular in the industry. While she was away from the U.S., her reputation plummeted dramatically. The shocking truth I had discovered left Sophia pale-faced, and I continued to press her. Moreover, regarding Mia, the police are investigating the incident where you left her in the doghouse.
What? You're kidding, right?
If they find you, they'll question you. You can't be entrusted with Mia. Upon hearing this, my sister was at a loss. She no longer had any chance of reclaiming her daughter. In a panic, she tried to turn and escape immediately. But her foot caught on nothing, and she stumbled, crying out in pain. Caught off guard, she fell face first, her nose scraped and bleeding. By the time I noticed, my niece had crawled near the entrance, her little hands and knees propelling her forward.
No! Just forgive me, Mia!
However, Mia, now 7 months old, didn't recognize Sophia as her mother. Startled by my sister's loud cries, the baby began crying too. Sophia, go home. We'll take good care of Mia.
Don't say that! It's my fault!
Do you realize how terrifying it was for her to be left in a doghouse? I won't forgive you. At that moment, a concerned neighbor who had heard the commotion called the police. They arrived swiftly, and my sister was taken away. The last image I saw of her was tear-streaked, bloodied, and screaming as she was pushed into the police car. Poor Sophia. My whispered words vanished into the wind, unheard by anyone. Holding Mia, I silently watched until the police car disappeared from view. Afterward, my sister Sophia was charged with endangering her own daughter's life. Furthermore, her suspected plagiarism of illustrations turned out to be true, and combined with the situation involving her daughter, she faced backlash online. Sophia's husband, who had cheated and fled overseas, remained elusive. My husband and I decided to adopt Mia legally. Now, I read my picture book to Mia every night as she approaches kindergarten age. The book has become a bestseller, available in bookstores nationwide, libraries, and kindergartens. This story, you see, was written for you a long time ago. When she grows older, I plan to share with her the tale of the luck she brought through this book.
How did you find this story? If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to our channel. Until next time.